Hello, this is J.N.S, and I hope you guys are having a great Friday. Happy Friday. And I hope you guys are also going to have a good weekend as well. You got something good planned. And so, obviously, we are doing our weekly tarot reading, and we're going to cover a couple of topics. We're going to we start with a recap of the manifestation or the prophecies of the previous week in terms of what has come to pass. Then we get into world events. We're going to also do a little bit of digging into this Baltimore ship and bridge collapse in terms of the codes behind it. I want to talk about that, which I spoke about earlier in the week, but I want to go a little bit more in depth. And then we'll do individual readings. That means if you want a card in the chat, you could do that, or we'll just do the individual reading for the collective for the upcoming week, and then relationships as well. And so we want to do the recap of the previous week, which was what we have pulled up here. Let's see, because it's a couple of things that have come up a couple of weeks, but we'll start with the most recent because that is most important. So we'll start with the 22nd. That was the last video we did. Okay, here we go. Okay, and so remember last week video, I talked about as far as world events, I was seeing major mergers and acquisitions this week. I on the 22nd, I published, the videos. I said I see big mergers and acquisitions in with transnational companies, corporations, and whatnot. And so, as we can see, that has come to pass. Now, this was literally published. It says why mergers and acquisitions could rebound in 2024. So it says corporate bond demand can lead to a spike in mergers and acquisition activity this year. This was published March 28th. That's yesterday, 3:09 p.m. Then we had the 2024 mergers and acquisition upswings continues with Gilead, Aminom, and Novo buys. That was published yesterday. And then we have Home Depot had their largest acquisition ever. And they did an acquisition of 18.25 billion bet on the housing market, severe shortage of new homes. And that was also published yesterday. And then we had March 26th was mega deals make comeback to power, 660 billion merger and acquisition revival. Okay. And so this was also published on Bloomberg. So the mergers and acquisition energy that I was feeling on the 22nd, all that came to pass this week. And so I thought that was pretty cool. I was like, how did I see, I'm still trying to figure out like, okay, that's pretty cool. Okay, so we have that for the 22nd, but also we have some other prophecies. Now remember 3:15, I was saying that there was going to be a country that leads some sort of alliance. And I did mention it was either going to be like NATO or BRICS or something, another tantamount organization of that level. And so we see BRICS, we see India considering an exit from the alliance. And that was just published March 25th. And that video that we did was published March 15th. And I had got the feeling, I said, it's going to be like some sort of country with an alliance. Again, there's still more energy because then we had this situation happen. That same week, though, we saw the Prime Minister of Ireland get at our president. See, that's the Ireland and America alliance where he comes and tells President Biden to cease fire in Gaza, and then he steps down from being president, from being prime minister in Ireland the very next day. And so that also played a role. Like that's also part of this video that was published on 3/15 when we're talking about like some sort of alliance. Not seeing eye to eye. So we have the BRICS, we have the prime minister going at president of the United States. There was a couple of more situations. I'm still waiting for the one with the woman because I know there's a something with a woman involved in a country. I saw a little bit of it, but I'm still looking for the woman, and then that will be literally the prophecy fulfilled. And so we have that, and then on the 8th, I made a video about a major social media soaring in the market. And so that same week, all that stuff with TikTok comes out, and we see the timestamps itself, and literally talking about TikTok being a geopolitical foe, which could undermine our economy and security. And so that one, I felt that it was something else coming. I felt it was something more coming from this. So the TikTok stuff popped off, that social media and whatnot. But what I was looking for was more so on the lines of what happened yesterday, which was with Trump's social media. Because I specifically said it was a social media that was going to soar in the markets. So some type of social media that soars in the markets. And so Trump Media and Technology, Donald J. Trump's, his social media on the 26th, it shoots up in the first day of trading. So this is what I was more so feeling. This is lined with what I was feeling. And so it did shoot up 30% in one day, Trump Media. And he has a social media company. I guess that's called Truth Social or something like that, or Social Truth or Truth Social. And so the events are coming to pass as we before we speak them. I mean, I'm sorry, after we speak them into the ether. And so that is interesting. So that was the last 3 weeks. So let's cover the the Baltimore situation. Look at that, because there's a lot of heavy codes with the Baltimore. See, I published this March 26, 1:23 p.m. About like the codes that I was seeing in the Baltimore situation itself. And so let's take a look at what this stuff means. So, as we all know, I believe the 26th was on Tuesday, right? Or was it Wednesday? Yeah, it was on Tuesday. The ship, this cargo big ass ship, crashes into the Francis Scott Key Bridge and completely collapses. This is in Maryland. And it slows down the ports, and it, obviously affects the entire nation's import travel of goods and whatnot, goods and services. This is a huge ship. And so what are the codes behind such a thing happening? Okay. And so, as we know, this is a psyop. Like, it's not a terrorist attack, but it's certainly scripted theater. See how the Brotherhood works, or those that run, the system. They work in a lot of scripted theater. For those who know, what I'm talking about, they'll know. And so the way they use the way they do their magic is very heavy. Still, it's a lot of physicality behind it. It's not light in terms of just on the mental plane or just hecka. Their magic is not like that. They have to script things out like predictive programming to usher in shit stuff. They have to literally play it out to usher in. And then they also want to communicate with certain minds and certain people that are under code and under oath and in secret societies. They can't actually communicate all loud, like, hey, I got your message, this is how we gonna do things, da, 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 da. They'll script it out, and know people of a certain caliber, of a certain intellect, will be able to put all their codes together. And so for months I had been telling you, that there would be a switch over, but it's a change of guard. We all know that. I've been screaming from top of the lungs, there's a change of guard back to a different law system, and under new leadership and whatnot. And so the whole Maryland Baltimore shipwreck stuff, or bridge collapse rather, um, was a high level psyop, to a scripted theater to act out what the nation will be switching to. And so let's break that down. So, in U.S. admiralty law, this is called the law of commerce, or the law of water, or maritime law. Maritime law. Okay, catch the codes as I'm saying this. And it's stuff you can look up yourself. Under U.S. admiralty law, all ships are female, no matter what. This is something that is signed, sealed, and delivered. No way around it. There is not a ship in the United States that transports goods, military ships, cargo ships, any sort of ship. It is female. Okay, there's a vessel, it carries cargo. There's a vessel, it lands at the dock. All ships have a certificate. It's the same thing when it comes to females in general. When we talk about the law of water and actual humans giving birth, This is admiralty law it's called the law of water. This is the deal in the contract that the United States have with the Marine Kingdom. It's some certain entities of the Marine Kingdom. Okay, certain entities of them. Because not every Marine entity is negative. Okay, and so the bridge collapsed in Maryland. This is a play on maritime law and the law of water. Remember, all ships are female. So Maryland also represents the Virgin Mary in the age of Pisces. The Virgin Mary is a construction of the Western mind, particularly the Catholic Church and the Jesuits. So the idea of what we have, the Virgin Mary, is not one that the original text or that the original origins of Mary would even identify with or um, be representative of. Virgin Mary was originally called Black Madonna, Great Mother. Okay, so this conception of a white Virgin Mary that gives birth to a white Jesus in the age of Pisces is the construction of the Western world, of the Catholic and the Jesuit Church. And when I said it's the false Great Mother, this may be offensive to some people because they're thinking, "Oh, Virgin Mary, that's the mother of Jesus." How can you say that? Blah blah blah. We're not talking about. Obviously, you just see the Russian bolts or whatever, how they put out all this stuff about like the melanated uh, Black Madonna and baby, and so the name wasn't Mary originally. It wasn't even necessarily Madonna. You know what I mean? But then we know that this is melanated woman, and then we know that the construction under the age of Pisces, which is age of dogma and the age of patriarchy, Virgin Mary was relegated. It's a desecration of the divine feminine. However, the powers that be, the brotherhood, thought that they were in alignment or honoring the divine feminine in a very twisted way, and they are now coming to the realization that that was never the case. And so, old paradigms and systems must be torn down. And so that's why you see this stuff coming out about Black Madonna and Kalima and Isis, and you're going to see stuff coming more out about the Black woman, Black womb. You're going to see this stuff as we go into the age of Aquarius and moving out of the age of Pisces from this idea of a white Virgin Mary, and whatnot. This was an image that was twisted, so that's why I said it's a false Great Mother, false image, because it's an image that's been twisted by the Jesuits. Okay, so the bridge collapsed after a ship collision and shut down one of the nation's busiest I didn't mean to put airports, but ports. And it probably did shut down one of the damn busiest airports. Who knows? Uh, and so the bridge is named after Francis Scott Key. This is a former United States attorney for the District of Columbia. He also authored the Star Spangled Banner. Okay, and so he owned slaves from 1800. Okay, he owned slaves. He also purchased his first slave in the 1800s or in 1801, and then he owned 6 slaves in 1820, and he freed 7 slaves in the 1830s. Now, remember, they were reporting in the news that 7 people were missing in the tragedy. Okay, and so to bring that connection on home, so we see the slave owner that the bridge is named after in the water, maritime law in Maryland, being collapsed. The bridge is collapsed. The port, the ship is, so it's like another big ass female crushing this bridge, this Francis Scott Key bridge, this female ship. Remember, all ships are female. And so when we talk about Black Americans and we being descendants of slaves, we are the descendants of the real Great Mother. Okay, so that bridge had no choice but to come down. That is why that female ship knocked down Francis Scott Key's bridge. It's also symptomatic of going into the age of the divine feminine under the melanated cosmic law, a female knocking down the white male bridge named after him, a slave owner. All bridges are female. Then we talk about the maritime law, Maryland, and this happened in Maryland. That is a ship. This is that female ship is representation of a change of the vanguard. We're going under a new direction. Okay, and so that bridge came down because it was supposed to come down symbolically. The white boys, brotherhoods, they are realizing, okay, this shit is serious. We really are ushered in. We really are going into that age of the divine feminine. We are really are going under the real female mothership. We really is switching under the real queen mothership, and not the fake one that we thought we had created, because they don't know what that looks like. See, the white boys, they felt like they crafted, they was studying our sciences and looked and said they knew secretly that the Black Madonna was always where it was at, but they had constructed a house on top of a foundation that was a lie, and that was they hiding information, lying about information. So that was not pleasing to the Great Mother. So they thinking in behind the scenes, yeah, we worship Black Madonna, da, 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 but Black Madonna don't want you worshiping her if you got this fake ass system running, and if you done twisted the damn history and done lied about everything and done set up something. So no, stuff got to come down, stuff got to switch around. The Great Mother is the one that makes the rules and the laws, not the white boys tell us how Great Mother gonna look and what Great Mother. That's not how that energy go. And so the white boys have acquiesced, and they have realized, okay, Great Mother really is going to tell us how to run this ship. She really is going. We really are going from maritime law to another system. If we want from a law of water, which here's the thing, they're letting us know, okay, you got it, but also they're acknowledging the shift from the age of Pisces to the age of Aquarius. The female mothership, it's melanated, collapses a bridge named after a white slave owner who wrote the Star Spangled Banner, or whatever it's called. Okay, she collapsed that ship. They letting us know, and they follow, like, how, like, we talk about these predictive programming, and you know this is interesting. Even as a tarot reader and as a spiritual intuitive, I have to say I'm starting to go more of this route. Are predictive programmers real, or are they molding and shifting and creating the matrix as they speak through their hecta and through the images they put out? So, in other words, you see how every week I talk about events and stuff that's going to come to pass, whatever. Then the shit really come to pass that same week, within 2 weeks. Is that me programming it? Is that me programming the matrix itself, or am I seeing it beforehand? Those are things that we need to think of. Can it be both at the same time? I think yes. I think yes. I believe in quantum superpositioning. I think I know quantum entanglement is real, and I think that I am not just me, but like say like the Simpsons. We talk about the Simpsons or something. You know, um, we say, oh, they have all this predictive program. How do they know the future? They're programming it, and this comes from Dr. Mumby. She just said that, and I was thinking about that, and it made me reflect on myself, because I said I be saying a lot of stuff that come true on a weekly basis, and I'm thinking like, am I programming the damn matrix? And it's not just that. I mean, it has happened. Just these little videos I've been doing on YouTube on a weekly basis, but I'm saying like it's been literally damn near hundreds of things that I'll be like, oh, that's gonna happen, that's gonna happen, that's gonna happen. They gonna do this, and it literally happened. So I'm thinking like, I think I might be programming this bitch, and the elites do program. And so I remember having a conversation with someone who had told me, you you have to program in a certain way. See, I do mine kind of differently, but he was pretty much letting me know, and this was like a big wig, and he was kind of letting me know, like, even when they write stuff out, these journalists, and they, you can write anything in like the Yahoo or Huffington Post or New York Times and all this shit. You can write your opinion piece, whatever. But this is how they manipulate the stock market. Like the stock market, believe it or not, has high level Hecka in it, high level magic, where obviously the hedge fund managers are able to literally manipulate the stock through the news catalyst. Like they'll put something out and it'll be fake. It literally will be fake. They'll put something out, say they came up, they love doing Tesla this way. And I started catching what they were doing. They go at that, they'll put something, hedge fund managers put something out about Tesla that's negative. Tesla go down. They rack money. They short the market. They rack good millions off that shit. Then the next day they buy low. They put a story out that's good. Shoot that shit back up. Eat off of that. Shoot it back down. Eat off the short selling. Shoot it back up. Eat off the long call. Eat off the off of the of buying buying the market. This is what they do, and I'm looking at because I'm studying this. I'm like this, and I mean, this is obvious. This is what smart money does, and I'm just looking. I'm like, that is so fascinating. I mean, the hedge fund managers, we look at them as like, oh, the retail trader. They're like, oh, damn you to hell. But I'm like, it's kind of interesting because I'm like, they are clearly just molding and creating. They're literally molding the whole market. They're like bending this shit, and they eat off the top and off the whether it falls or whether it rises. They don't figure out a way how to eat. And it's not just hedge fund managers. Obviously, you got obviously the banking institutions itself. They and then even some of this very smart retail traders get in for the ride. They know they don't crack the matrix. They see how it's gonna go. Like Nav or something. Remember Nav? They know, and that's why I was like, I remember Homegirl said, some magicians are so powerful they don't have to work. They know how to get money without working. And I'm thinking, like, is that what she meant, or is it something deeper? Because she said that, but she never went into detail. But it piqued my motherfucking interest. I said, "What do you mean people work without and get money without having work?" She wasn't saying like, "Oh, they doing nothing illegal, like selling some drugs or doing something." No, she said like it's people with a mind power, and I'm thinking like, I bet you them hedge fund managers, and we talking about they do this on a they are masters at this. They know they gonna put a story out and people are gonna they know panic, fear, greed is what runs the stock market. And so they know like how do we create panic, how do we create fear, how do we create greed, and they capitalize off of that. And they have obviously very powerful AI algorithms that can do a lot of the predictive analytics on the back end, and they have access to those tools, and they write up them damn articles. Then they got access to say the Yahoo Finance or some shit, or what is it, Business Insider, and they go out and put some shit up on there, or Barron's, and they'll go and such and such been downgraded. What they say, Tesla's been downgraded by J.P. Morgan. Bloop! And the stock falls, and everybody panics and sells, and you know, and then then you got the AI stop hunting people's stop loss and all types of crazy shit. And I'm just studying this stuff like a hawk. Like I'm just like, oh, this shit is so fascinating. And people have their moralities about it, good, bad, right, or wrong, and or their opinion on that. I'm not here to argue that. Just find it interesting. But the main point I want you guys to take from this is, predictive program. Are you molding the matrix, or are you really predicting what's going to happen in the matrix, or are you programming your motherfucking self? And I know for a fact that I think we're doing both. But as back to the ship, the brotherhood is letting us know, okay, we're going back under the age of the divine feminine, but under the black Madonna, under this more primordial energy. And they also know we're moving from the age of Pisces to the age of Aquarius. We're moving out of this water, Pisces, this water energy, into more of air. Okay, we're moving from the law of water to galactic law, universal law. But universal law, we even going deeper than that because there's more than 12 laws of the universe. So we're moving into the galactic law as required by the beings from the chaos intelligence realm. This is the original Great Mother. Okay, and so Jordan Maxwell talks about maritime law and the divine feminine and how all ships are female. This is like this is Masonic law. It's maritime law. This is very deep stuff. And so all you seeing right here is a Masonic ritual. I mean, come on. I mean, open your eyes. That's all it is. This is how they do their magic. They very heavy. They magic is not light. I mean, they magic is. They letting up on the blood sacrifices, but they shit is still. It's still not at the highest level. And so because they do a lot of scripted theater. Still, they do psyops. They run a lot of psyops, and they have to harness inner people's energy that way. Still, they have to harness people's energy, so they magic is real heavy. It's not like where you don't need anybody motherfucking energy to get your shit and your point across. You should be able to speak your shit with your mouth and your damn mind, and that shit should come. And so they don't know how to do that. These white boys and the people that's running this system, they don't know how to do that, but they realize they know that there are black motherfuckers on here that know how to do this, and a particularly black woman. And so they like this Candace Owens viral shit and all this stuff, and the black woman, and even they study black women spiritualists all on YouTube, all the black women spiritualists that got material out, that's talking, that's teaching. They studying all of us, and they realize like these black women, they don't operate the way, they don't do their systems that way we do it, but they got the key. And so how do we harness that? And if we thinking we got to come and you about to come and enslave the black woman or do whatever, or make her try to sell out or make her do anything, we not in those days and ages where she is serving the patriarchy or being, she's be back in the age of the oracle and the sibyls, but not from the point of view where we are just the queen mothers to the king and or advisors to the king, and they just harnessing our energy. That them days are over. Them days are over. And so the powers that be, they want to learn more about what we do as the ancient ones, and but they gotta bend the motherfucking knee. It's as simple as that. They gotta bend the knee. They ain't about to come up in this bitch and think you no. And they know that they want, like, well, the stuff about the ascension and this earth. Yeah, there are some beings that want to keep the system the way it is, but it is many people, many people in high places that want the fuck out of the shit that they done got themselves into, pretty much. And so they willing to learn about this galactic, the higher realms of Heka. Some are not, like, again, it's something that's gonna hang on to their power with kung fu death grips and shit. But it's a lot that's like, okay, what the hell's going on? We can't. They know they can't continue on going on the way it's going. They know that. So that's why his big ass female ship with all this cargo, with all this as the vessel is knocking over Scott, the Francis Scott, the Scott Key white male bridge, who was a damn slave owner in Baltimore, Maryland. Maritime law. It's the end of maritime law. We moving out of that contract with them marine kingdom entities. That's ended. And even with the false divine feminine. That's what they telling us. Like, it's like they was serving the false divine feminine for 2,000 fucking years, and they got ran into the ground. And they really thought that what the false divine feminine was teaching them, they really thought that was really real. They really thought that, okay, this was a black. Honestly, there's a false divine feminine that was running shit, who got a lot of power, but she's false. But she runs. She don't. She's it's a wounded. It's like a twisted satanic energy that comes from this female, and she was teaching all these white boys and all these secret societies. She was teaching them that shit. We talking about an entity, a principality, okay? And it was false, and it was weak. It was from a place of weakness. It was a place of a false power. And so now you got like the real primordial mother, bring her motherfucking ass down here. Real primordial, real ancient power that this jealous female was co-opting, stealing from, and bastardizing. And then this person was like the false divine feminine that they have been following is very narcissistic, satanic, get off on blood sacrifice, child sacrifice, just really low governing force, really ridiculous shit. And so the people at the top, they really just didn't even. Some of them knew better, but then some of it's sometimes it's just too late. But they really thought, okay, this is just how things go. Like this is just how it goes. And so we have here the real primordial mother is coming back, and that false divine feminine is no match for the real deal. Pretty much, is no match for the real motherfucking deal. Under no circumstances. And so that's why you see this happening. And this big ass female ship collapsing this bridge in Maryland. It's just the Masonic ritual. And then they back up things, and then they whatever, how it's going to affect the law of commerce, the financial markets is one thing, and that's all a part of the ritual as well. The effect that it has on the financial markets, the people that die, or go missing, the people that it affects. That's all a part of the harnessing of the energy. It's still very heavy magic, but it's a way that they communicate. And they saying this ship had two generators, so it couldn't have lost power and all this stuff, and it's so fishy and it's so this. Of course, it's a fucking psyop. What did you think? Like most fucking things. Like what did you think? Hey, that's why nobody gonna say shit, and that's why you ain't gonna hear much about it, because they coming out in the open now. They doing they psyops 20 more and more and more. You seeing outages, and they ain't telling you who the fuck is doing it. I mean, this is being spiritual warfare. If y'all want to sit up there and play on 3D top and 3D realm, and be all worked up and distracted by what's really going on and not seeing that, obviously there's something deeper going on. Obviously, now we got the April 8th shit coming, and we got the yeah, the eclipse and all this nonsense and all this stuff. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll damn see. But let's look at some events, nonetheless. Oh, hey, Lovey, thank you so much. I appreciate you, sweetie. I appreciate you. Um, so yes, let's look at some events for this week. Actually, let's go into the world events that I see. I ain't gonna hold you. I see another damn blackout. I see another big outage of some kind. This relates to like blackouts of electricity, but this can also be the internet again. Telecommunications, just think of satellites. I see satellites being affected. Satellites, uh, big time satellites, more telecommunications mess ups. But this one isn't the kind where it's affecting electricity. And I see water and storms. I see water and thunder. This could be a manufacturer, but that's something that I see coming within the next two weeks. Something major. I would say give it 2 to 3 weeks, but this is going to be quite major, very upsetting. Military could possibly get involved. The Department of Defense, they could possibly get involved in this one. That's what I see. I also see like a potential CEO of like a CEO of a either a social media company or a news company, some type of news station or a social media company, kind of having to defend himself. He could be summoned. This could be by Congress. This could be something that he did. Something by that he got to go and defend himself about. He actually has to explain a situation or defend himself on trial. It's not so much the court yet, but it's like some type of accusation of a CEO that I see of a social media company, a news station, some type of journal. It could also be a journal. There's something relating to that. Oh yeah, yep. Those are the main world events that I see. I wanted to look. I want to actually see if I could pick up anything from that CERN machine being turned on the same day as the eclipse on April 8th. CERN machine. Let me just try to see if I can pick up anything off of that CERN machine. Turn on the same day as April 8th. Honestly, I thought they was gonna have like something real evil planned. They're hiding a lot about what this is about, but the entities that they want coming through this time, they they're not trying to, when they talk about like this antimatter, it seems like they do want to harness the energy of a certain portal, but it looks like the entities that's going to come through are sun entities of the sun. Lots of entities from the sun are going to come through this bitch on April 8th. Big time ones, and a lot of, I know this may sound odd, but a lot of the um, child fairy spirits of the sun are going to come through. And so if they think they're going to come and bring up all this negative energy into this planet through CERN and harnessing these of the the eclipse and all this stuff, it's not. They're not going to be able to do it because I just pulled twice and I don't see anything negative. I mean, their intentions, I ain't gonna hold you. They got some deceptive as intentions that I can see. I can see, but final outcome is sun spirits, very very, and these are high vibrational sun spirits too. So thank God for that. These are very very high vibrational sun spirits, and they are solar souls that are very young and like imagine the joy of a kid, innocence of a baby, innocence of baby boys. I keep seeing a lot of baby boys, spirits coming from the sun. That's going to be coming on on April 8th. And they are once again raising. They're going to be raising the vibration of the planet just by their presence alone. And so that's a beautiful thing when it comes to to this eclipse thing. And there's again, this earth is being held accountable. There's going to be a lot of honesty and clarification about a lot of things. People are going to feel, as far as how it's going to affect your energy wise, have more willpower. A lot of people are going to have more willpower and determination. And so a lot of people are going to be speaking up, uh, even in difficult situations. More mouths being forced open. Okay. There is no more uh, sweeping issues under the rug in this country or in this world globally. And April 8th eclipse, with even with the CERN machine on and everything they're trying to do, that is the energy that's going to dominate this whole planet. Okay, it's a wake up call. Not just we talking about the year of revelation, year of exposure, year of reckoning. They give this whole thing for 2024. I even said it and predicted it. Yes, that is very much true, but something deeper going on. This is going to be around law and science in terms of this wake up call to see the truth of a situation or relationship. And you're going to see some cutting of ties. You're going to be seeing some cutting of ties. This could be a dispute between military and another branch of government. We may even see a cutting of ties or some type of split or some type of situation around that too, as a result of the energy that's about to come on this planet. So that'd be interesting. And as far as another aspect of this, a lot of people are going to be moving forward in creative pursuits when it comes to this April 8th eclipse. And so I do see that energy as well for those on an individual level. And this is also going to make a lot of us think of our childhood or like past good times, and this energy that's coming, especially with these sun spirits, these children coming from the sun. These gonna be souls, obviously, but they entities, and they're a principality as itself. It's like an egregore that's coming through. It's going to make a lot of people reflect on their childhood. They're going to be reminiscing about and finding that childhood joy. And that's honestly what's going to collectively raise the vibration of the planet. And, a lot of times I don't like to tell the details or the intel of how entities help raise vibration of the planet through influencing of the human psyche on a collective level. But this one, I get the clearance to share this because this is it's a military operation of the sun. And I know that may sound crazy. Like, how does the planet? Yes, these are they have the Chaos Intelligence Room, have military operations. Saturn, yes, the planets have their own little way of doing shit. Obviously, you have planet Earth itself, the Earth star, the Earth chakra. They call it the Earth star chakra. That's in a core about 6 feet down from beneath the ground. That that's where that energy is able to shift the entire energy of the planet. But the sun does the same thing, and every planet does the same thing. And so, the military operation that the sun is going to be playing out around April 8th is sending these egregore of these sun spirits, this principality of the sun. These are male spirits. They're child though. They're like male childs, and they are going to kind of like how archons implant thoughts into human minds. Yeah, other beings that are able to do that too. This time, though, they won't be trying to implant thoughts of fear and implant thoughts of self sabotage and hate like the archons usually do. These fairies, this egregore, is going to be implanting thoughts of childhood, past good times. Your most joyful time that you had in your childhood is what like they're going to be implant. They're going to be throwing in humans' heads. They're going to be bringing back up those memories, and that is how the planet is going to raise its vibration. Now, all of this, the keys of how to do this is encrypted. It is, if I'm saying it out loud, is I'm not giving nothing away. Like I wouldn't jeopardize. Like when we say like, if I'm able to get on here and say it on YouTube, it's a military operation, but they ain't hiding shit because it's so high level as far as the vibration that it's nothing that anybody that tries to come against it can do. So I don't care what kind of thing they put on with the CERN and they're gonna try to conjure up what some damn demons or whatever they try to get it's nothing in the eyes of the universe and the eyes of the galaxy, even in the eyes of the sun. And so we see that there's some new beginnings. A lot of people are going to be taking the road less traveled. It's a very innocent energy for those who can tap into it. So people get scared or whatever around this eclipse, or they want to go into the psyops, whatever psyops the 3D realm puts out. That's one thing, but the energy from that's on the higher level is that sun, baby boy, high powers, innocent energy, non-judgmental. You're free to explore any new opportunities at this time. Yes, we have the energy with the retrograde and stuff, but again, that's all being shifted on a higher dimension. That's why a lot of humans are going to be thinking about their damn childhoods and past childhood, their joyful moments though. Okay, and a lot of you are going to be feeling released to explore a more suitable lifestyle, be gaining confidence in a new skill at work, self-expression, a lot of artistic exploration. Many of you building your own business, but there's gonna be a lot of artistic exploration. Some artworks, beautiful artworks be produced at this time around next week. Lots of beautiful artworks. We may even one of these artworks may make mainstream media. I mean, like mainstream, like viral type shit. Just like how they show like all this stuff about the Black Jesus going viral and all this stuff, which we do for years about that. When they were showing the Russian votes and all that, and that went viral. But it may be like an actual art piece that happens with that will also be by design, in terms of ushering in this new light energy that we're going into, a part of the paradigm split. And I hope the powers don't try to, because what they try to do is they like to reverse engineer and try to force a situation, but this stuff has to happen naturally, organically, through the help of the egregores and the repository intelligence of the collective consciousness of planet Earth. That's what will be. And so that's what I'm getting from the eclipse around the April 8th. A lot of people, they'll be breaking free, a lot of breaking free and abandoning of group ideals. And I do see that there's a potential for some theft and backstabbing. I want to see what this relates to though. Yeah, there's some potential for some nasty energy on the lower levels, like 3D realm, and it is very temporary. It's temporary, and it's not going to be it's not going to be dominating the energy for this eclipse. A lot of people want to move to a new place in search of peace and a better life. A lot of people want to see the light at the end of the tunnel. All this stuff they trying to usher in with the fear energy, the apocalypse. Oh my gosh, no, there's calmer waters ahead for humanity if they see it. A lot of you are going to be returning to a place you left. That's why a lot of you are going to be thinking about the childhood memories. You're thinking a lot about, say, if you have a late grandma, late parents that have passed on transition, you're going to be thinking about them, doing libations for them. And it may be wise to do libations for them around this time. I'm not going to act like I know. I'm not an astrologist, so I'm not going to act like I know the significance of the April 8th. I mean, I can always Google it. April 8th spiritual meaning of this eclipse. I was only just channeling from a from the tarot perspective. So let's look at it. Let's see what they have here for us. Let's see what it says actually. But I want to see. Let's see. Do they have anything that's like more spiritual? See, a lot of people are just saying, "Oh, it's the age of the sign of the age of Aquarius." I mean, stuff that we already pretty much know. Looks like it's stuff that we pretty much in a Teen Vogue. I want something a little more serious than Teen Vogue. Farmer's Almanac. This is called the Worm Moon. Let's see. Is it? I think that's the wrong one. What is so special about the? Okay. The upcoming April 8th eclipse will last for more than 4 minutes from Mexico as far as north as the economy India. It will also create a wider path of totality, allowing for a greater area of viewing. Something else that makes it unusual is the timing. What are the spiritual benefits? A time of reflection, introspection, and self care. Okay. I was looking for more of the spiritual stuff. Okay, so the sun is on an 11-year cycle, and at the solar minimum, solar flares and other eruptions are least active. But during the eclipse, it will be near the peak or solar maximum. Oh, okay, I didn't know that for the April 8th. So that's why I'm solar. That's why I keep seeing, feeling solar spirits, principality of the male children coming through on this date. That gives viewers a better chance of seeing streamers extended from the corona, possibly eruption of solar material. Okay, okay. What happened? Where did it go? What did it do? Okay, here we go. Shadow bands. There are Bailey beads, edges. Interesting. Interesting. That's probably why I kept seeing shit with a blackout because I know I'm like, I feel like it's gonna be some type of a big time blackout coming, or stuff with the telecommunications and radio signals messing up again with internet, possibly electricity. Okay, let's look at this. This is usually a good one for spiritual. This is a good website for it. This is a good one. Okay, so let's see what this one says. This year, eclipses are ready to generate intense periods that start to manifest a few months before their actual occurrence. Eclipses unfold in cycles involving all 12 signs of the zodiac and usually occurs in periods about 2 weeks apart. Never fear eclipses. Just think of them as opportunities for growth that allow you to release old patterns. Expect surprises that elicit both positive and perplexing feelings and outcomes. The closer an eclipse is to a planet or point in your birth chart, the greater the importance it has in your life, especially if one of those planets is the same degree as the eclipse. Okay. So I'll put this link in here just in case you guys want to look at it for um your particular zodiac sign. Because I'm not going to sit here and read through each one, but you guys can see it here. I think that'd be cool for you guys to look at it because this is a site that usually gives some good, you know what I mean? They usually give some good spiritual advice that I do know, or esoteric knowledge as well. See, maybe have some good stuff on here generally. So that's a site that I like. Yeah. So let's get back to the rest of the reading for this week for the individual level because we covered some events and now let's look at the individual level. Another thing for you guys besides this blackout. Oh, I keep getting that. I just the energy of the solar entities from the sun and the energy of this blackout. I just keep getting that so strongly. It's overclouding just me even being able to see stuff for the individual collective of humanity. It really is. Okay, but let's see. So for the individual collective of the humanity, say if you're in your personal relationships, just for the beginning of this week, like I would say, like the beginning, somebody may say some harsh words, like something like it's either you or somebody that's around you. Y'all gonna have some exchange of words. We talking about blunt, direct, and honest words that may cut, and it's like I see a little bit of arguing, unfortunately. It's temporary though. It's temporary. And you may feel like you have to defend yourself and explain yourself, your beliefs, your integrity. You may feel like your integrity is being questioned. And it's going to cause you to put up a bit of a guard. It's going to cause a little bit of a psychic wound that make you overly protective of your heart. Feel like you can't trust them. Then you guys make amends. You guys make amends, come back together, and keep it moving. Another aspect of this is some of you, if you don't get in an argument with someone close to you in your vicinity, you're going to receive news, unfortunately, that is jarring and upsetting. Cause a little bit of sudden changes and upheaval, and once again, it starts to make you feel, anxious, very. It makes you feel like you're going forward without a clear plan or angry. Again, that's temporary. That is temporary. Things will work itself out. You get more clarity. You'll get more balance throughout the rest of the week, and it will work its way. It will work itself out by the time, um, I would say, yeah, by around April 6th, April 7th, you'll be fine. And so I see that energy coming for the individual level, yeah, because there is some of you may be actually be planning a move, or you looking for a new apartment. Hopefully none of you get evicted, but that is some people they'll kind of be looking for a move, or it's like a sudden move that could be moving out of the apartment or the house or something of that nature. Some people will. That's also on the horizon too for the individual level. And another thing is the reason another aspect of this is another scenario that I'm picking up. Um, is someone deception, unfortunately, deception with the words and what somebody has told you that causes an unfortunate an argument. Harsh words are exchanged. They have a lasting effect in terms of cutting deep, that make you feel wounded, that make them feel wounded. The trust can diminish a bit. You guys will get explain yourself, get down to the nitty gritty. One person is going to feel they're more just or more correct than the other person, unfortunately, in this scenario, if this scenario applies to you. And then it will get it will get better, luckily. So that's the good thing, is that it will get better. And I see news, uh, the arrival of news, even the social. Well, some of you are going to be invited to something pretty cool too. That's another scenario. The other scenario is you get an invitation via this could be an email, something where you have to actually RSVP, or even social media. Some message comes through, a text message, to invite you to a social setting. Now, I do see that whoever's doing this inviting, you don't really trust them, but you want to see what it's about, and it'll be okay. It'll be okay to go. I don't think the event will be all peaches and cream, but at the same time, I think it'll be okay to if you do decide to check that out and take them up on that offer. Yeah, and so that's it for the individual level. Now we'll move on to how do they feel, and we'll wrap this up. I do before I want to move on to how do they feel. This is for those that are in relationships. Remember, we talked about how that works. I do want to put, if you guys would like a reading at any point from me, you can call this number, or you can, if you want to do live chat, you can hit me up on here and do live chat on here, or you can book through my website or on Etsy. So it's up to you how you want to reach me. But I do readings ranging from relationships, um, how do they feel, self help, guidance on career and whatnot. I not the best with timelines. So if you ask, I'm more with good with feelings, especially tapping into the collective unconscious of people's mind. It's not so much remote viewing; it's a little bit different, where I can tap into the actual words that other humans say between you would say a third party, or you, or even you yourself. And I think that's pretty cool. So it's a little bit different than remote viewing, but nonetheless, um, that is something more of my specialty versus like exact timelines. If once I work on my astrology, I'll be able to get timelines better. I presume. I'm thinking that's why. I think that's why that's how the timeline stuff comes into play. If you have the background, a deeper background in astrology, so I have to work on that. But yeah, I enjoy doing my readings. You can look at some of my reviews and whatnot. And here's some links to my books as well if you guys want to support any of my books. And now we'll get into how do they feel. Okay, so how do they feel if you're in a relationship? It's gonna be a rough week if you're in a relationship. I ain't even gonna hold you. I ain't even gonna. It's gonna get better though. It's gonna get better. Once again, um, there's a potential for an argument. I ain't gonna hold you. There's a potential for an argument, a misunderstanding, lack of clarity in communication, and even jump into conclusions. Finding out something that upsets you, and you guys have to talk it out and work it out. They're gonna feel like you have a guard up this week, and that you're defensive, and that you're blunt and harsh. Either they gonna feel that way about you, or you gonna feel that way about them. Yes, ma'am, or yes, sir. And that feeling is temporary. So it's a temporary feeling, and you guys will work that out midweek. Midweek, come back together. I also see some of you may be working on some home renovations. Say if you this is a scenario is not resonating with you, I see home renovations for some of you. Planning some renovations and you want to put that together, and that's going to be awesome. That's going to be dope. And then I also see some male virility, so a lot of intimacy, passion, a lot of passion and intimacy after the argument. So it's kind of like the energy of we fuss, then we fuck, or we fuss and fight, then we make up, we make love, that type of energy this week. And then it'll get better throughout the end. Towards the end of the week, the dynamic will change from one of the fuss, then fuck, then that type of. I know that's graphic, but that's literally the energy that I'm feeling from these cards. um, and so that is it for how do they feel. Yes, yes. Okay. And so you guys have a great rest of your week. Have a great rest of your week, and I will catch you guys next Friday. We're doing these every Friday, but I'm open to a different day if anyone hits me up and tell me or even a specific time if you guys are interested into this. But for right now, they're on Fridays. Um, I mean, it could change to maybe on Saturday. I don't know. People are working still on Friday. I don't know. Then Friday, people like to do the happy hour. They like to go out. They want to have time. So maybe Saturday is a better day, or maybe even Monday. So I'll test it out. But for now, we'll stick to Fridays. See how the energy is on these days. But I suspect that a lot of people are busy on Fridays. Like they get after work and then they love to go to the happy hour. I mean, do they still do that? I mean, I remember I used to do that when I used to work in 2018. I would come after work on Fridays and then go to happy hour. No, so I don't know if you guys are still doing that, or it's Friday. Stimulate your mind, Craig. It's Friday. If you want to go out to eat, go to the movies and whatnot. So we'll see. We'll see. You guys be blessed. Stay blessed. Keep hope alive at all times. Think very highly of yourself at this time. And remember, focus on your own divinity. Focus on yourself. All right. And so I love you guys. I'm going to talk to you guys later. Bye.